Hello friends, welcome to iExamB. I'm Satakshi, your English faculty at iExamB, and in this video we will see some of the rules of grammar, and they will be helpful for you in your IBPS SO AFO exam in the English section of that exam. So friends, rules of grammar is one really important topic that covers your error detection, sentence improvement, and also fill in the blanks to some extent. So friends, these are a very important type that you see in your exams, and it is very essential that you know some of the rules of grammar, and learning them is not very difficult. You just have to give a good read to whatever notes you're following. If you're a student, you have our notes, but otherwise also if you have any other book, any other notes where these rules are compiled, also we have another video that we have uploaded on our iExamB channel where there is also a PDF included with the video in the description box, where you can find 100 rules of grammar. So either you can download that PDF, or you can start at least from here, or study from some other source, but make sure you at least give a good read once or twice to all the rules of grammar, so that you are well equipped with them and aware of all these rules while you are sitting in your exam. So friends, let's see the first rule. Now this is one very important rule. This is of subject verb agreement, and it says that in a sentence the subject and the verb should always be in agreement. All right, so if the subject is singular, then singular verb should be used, and the subject is plural, plural verb is to be used. Now what is the key here? The key is to identify the subject. All right, so once you know what is the subject, then you can select the verb accordingly, right? So let's see one example here. Here this sentence says, while there is no denying the quality that exists within the team, there does remain a few question marks on the role of certain individuals who are to play. So when we read this, we know when we have used does here, does is for singular, right? And for plural it is what? Do. Okay, so there do remain a few question marks. When you're talking about question marks, this is plural, right? So you have to use do here instead of does. Okay, so does is incorrect, you have to use do. So the correct answer in the exam you will mark is option C. All right, now moving ahead to another rule, it says ensure that the verb agrees with the true subject and not with an intervening plural object of a preposition or any other intervening plural. Like when we say in this example, if we see, it says that his experience as teacher to boys and girls give him understanding. So when we see that the verb is what? Give here. All right, so the subject is what? Because verb is closer to girls does not mean that this is the subject, right? They are talking about his experience, right? So experience is the subject, it is singular, thus the verb should also be singular, and we make a verb singular by adding s to it. All right, so this should be his experience as teacher to boys and girls gives him understanding. All right, so here the error will be in this part. It should be gives instead of give. All right, so let's move ahead and see another rule. It says a pronoun should agree in number with its antecedent. All right, means that singular antecedents are referred to by singular pronouns, right? So if you have used a singular pronoun, then the antecedent should also be singular, right? So like here when we say in this sentence, see, it says while gang culture is not a new phenomenon in the city, their numbers and activities have grown rapidly over the last few years. Okay, so we are talking about what? Gang. Okay, so gang के साथ क्या आएगा? Its numbers, right? So its numbers and activities have grown, right? So there is incorrect, it should be its, because we are referring to gang. Okay, so here the pronoun should always be in synchronization with the antecedent. Okay, so here the error lies in part C. You will choose option 3 as the answer, right? So we'll see one similar such example. It says daily request for interviews with the governor of the state number more than thrice that of the chief minister of the state. So what we are talking about, when you read this sentence, you may find it a bit confusing, but don't get confused with the words that are used. Okay, just be clear that your subject must agree with the verb, and also your pronoun should agree with the antecedent. So here, or the noun, right? So here it says daily request for interviews. What is the noun here? Daily request. Okay, and what is the pronoun? Thrice that of. So it should be thrice those of the chief minister of the state. We are talking about requests, which is plural. Okay, so now that will be replaced by those. So option C is the correct answer here, right? Now let's see another rule. It says subjects joined by and are usually plural and take plural verbs, right? Like here when we see, it says Sony and Sanjay are two people, right? So they are joined by and, so are will be used with Sony and Sanjay. Now similarly, when we see this example, it says Sony along with Sanjay. Now what is the subject here? Subject is Sony. Okay, so that is why is will be used, because these are two people, but we are referring to Sony who is going along with Sanjay. Okay, so the subject is Sony, that is why we will use is. Okay, now the other rule with along with is this. It says that using along with, together with, as well as, words like this, in a sentence does not affect the agreement of the verb with the main subject, that is the one appearing before such words, right? Like again here in this sentence, it says the teacher along with the students are going to the picnic. This is incorrect, right? Because the main subject is what? The teacher, right? So are is incorrect. It should be is. Okay, so we should always take care that the verb should always agree with the main subject, irrespective of whatever is coming in between. All right, so now let's see another such rule. It says when talking about two people or things, use between, and when talking about more than two people or things, always use among. Now students are confused with this thing a lot, that when to use between and when to use among. So this is the rule, that when you are talking about only two people or things, you will say between, and when you will talk about more than two people or things, you will use among. Okay, so the example says here, Robin Uthappa feels the number 5 spot in the Indian team will be contested among Rishabh Pant and Deepak Hooda. So when we are talking about two people, 1 and 2, then we will only use between. So among is wrong, it should be between. The error lies in part C. Alright, now see another such example where we should use among instead of between. We'll see that it says after a will is proved to be final one by the court through a probate, the assets of the deceased are distributed between the beneficiaries in accordance with the will. So here it has not been mentioned that the beneficiaries are only two. Okay, so we will always consider them to be more than two. We will always use among instead of between. Okay, so when it is explicitly mentioned that these are two people, two things, two beneficiaries, right, then only we will use between, else we will always use among. All right, so here again the error lies in part C, and you will choose option 3 as the correct answer. So friends, this is all for this video, and I would like to tell you that we are running Big B days from 13 to 16 September, and here you can get flat % off if you enroll using the code B Day. Now we have online courses for all IBPS SO streams, IT, AFO, Law and Rajbhasha. So if you are interested in checking out the demo of the course, you can visit our website www.iexambee.com, or you can ring us at this number if you have any queries, and they will be answered. Also friends, if you like this video, please like and share it with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel if you already haven't.